Hi everyone, welcome to Elevate Her Women in Business. So today we have Joy from Moonchild Macrame, and she's going to tell us all about her business Moonchild. So Joy, tell us a little bit about Moonchild and how it came about.
Hi, basically I am really creative and love making things and I love interior decor. I've always loved doing things around the house and making our house basically just how like a little sort of safe space for us, for me and my partner. I'm always making stuff anyway, for the house at home decor and stuff. And in lockdown, I discovered macrame and I gave it a go. And the first few things that I made weren't great, but after a few sort of attempts and doing it a little bit in my spare time, I found that I could really make lots of lovely things. And I did that for a little while and then went back to work after sort of being on furlough and stuff. And didn't have time for it anymore. And then this year, I decided I really wanted to give it a good go and set up my own business, and really try and make it something. So that's where we are now. And yeah, it's going really well. But I literally only started in January, so it's all very new,
Yeah.
and learning as I go, which is a bit scary, but it's exciting. So yeah, that's basically where it came from.
So what is macrame? What do you do in macrame? Is it like knotting, different ways of knotting?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's basically loads of knots and they look pretty. So you follow different patterns or you can make your own patterns.
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah, basically different types of knots. And you use them to create different patterns, to make, wall hangers, plant hangers, coasters, key rings, all sorts of different things. So yeah, it's just the way that you do the different knots to get different looks basically. And
Ah,
it's
that's
just
really
sort
cool.
of yeah, it's cotton cord is made from. So rather than sort of wool for like knitting,
Mhm.
it's cord instead. So it's slightly different in that respect.
Oh, nice. That sounds amazing. And there's
Mhm.
like so many different things you can do with it, isn't there? Like so many different
Yeah.
like products and things. So,
Yeah.
so since you started in January, have you come up against any like hurdles or anything that you've like had to like overcome or like learn or
Yeah.
change?
Yeah, so I think the hardest thing for me is time. So I'm
Mm.
still working full time whilst I do it. So it's not something that I can devote the whole day to, like Monday to Friday. So it's having the time to do it. So it's more sort of something that I can do in the evenings, but that means that I'm staying up super late and then I'm really tired. So
Oh,
it's
bless
just
you.
finding the time to do it
Yeah.
is really the hardest thing. And then also it's all very new to me. I've never done anything like this before. So everything is new and trying to sort of understand figures and making a profit and making sure that all that stuff is accounted for, that's really hard, and making sure that everything's as it should be, in terms of sort of figures and stuff. That I think has been the biggest challenge because it's just so sort of foreign to anything that I've ever had to do before when I've only been employed. So that
Yeah.
side of it is really a challenge for me and is kind of something that I'm not sort of familiar with. So that's where I've had to sort of really do lots of research and try and find my feet very quickly. And yeah, that's definitely been the hardest challenge for me.
I think loads of people go through that as well. When they start businesses out, they don't tend to go straight into it full time. A
Yeah.
lot of people starting businesses do exactly what you're doing. They have a love or a passion for something. You have to kind of
Yeah,
balance it with like all the other things in your life. So it's really hard when
exactly.
you really love something, but it's not ready to be, it's like a bit of a baby, isn't it? You're kind of like nurturing it.
Yeah,
Like you can't really make
exactly.
it into like your full-time thing because it just isn't sustainable. So you have to like kind of do both.
Exactly.
So you're just like working
Yeah.
double to like try and get
Yeah,
it
exactly.
together. I think
It's
that
so
would resonate with
hard.
loads of people actually. I think everyone would be in like everyone starts out in that way. And like and
Yeah,
how do you know like how to set up a business and stuff? Like it's such a big
exactly.
thing. So you're doing exactly
Yeah.
the right thing, like getting all the research and like talking to the right people to try and like support you and stuff so that you can
Yeah,
carry on doing it
exactly.
and like grow it and make sure that it's profitable and obviously worthwhile
Yeah,
too. So
exactly.
have you had any
Yeah.
successes yet? Have you had any like big wins?
Yeah, so a couple of really big wins for me is getting into local shops. So
Oh, amazing.
yeah, so I've managed to get into two local independent shops, which was a massive success for me, really pleased about. And their businesses are really aligned with sort of my values as well, because I'm really into sustainability. So one of them is an eco shop. So that obviously is super aligned. So that's
Yeah,
amazing. And then another one is a plant and a florist, and a lot of the products that we make are to do with houseplants, so houseplant hangers and things. So that's obviously a really good match as well, because I love houseplants. So yeah, so really good businesses to get sort of in with and be a part of. So that's really exciting, and they're both women-owned businesses as well, which is awesome. So we love that.
definitely.
Yeah, so that's really cool. So I'd say they're my biggest successes so far. Yeah, definitely those two. And to achieve that already when I've only been going since January is something that I'm really proud of. So
You should be
yeah.
so proud of yourself. Like, that's amazing. It's so good though. Like, to be like already in shops that are already established as
Yeah,
well. So like having those relationships with people like that have been through what you're going through as well. Like, to do
yeah,
that journey and stuff. You get
exactly.
support from that as well, like with people that are
Yeah,
like-minded and things.
they
So
understand. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. That's really important. And then so like if someone wanted to get into making macrame or doing like craft-based like businesses and things, do you have any kind
Yeah.
of advice for anyone that's like wanting to like follow in your footsteps?
Yeah, so if you want to just give macrame a go, then just get some cord. There's so many different books like YouTube, obviously like now TikTok, Reels, like there's so much out there which can teach you the basics, and it's just giving it a go and trying it and doing it again and again until you get better. Like anything takes practice, doesn't it? So that would be my tip for anyone who just wants to try it out and give that a go. If someone wanted to start a business to sort of sell things that they've made, so a product-based business that yeah, of handmade goods, then definitely again it's just being sort of confident enough to try it. You've got nothing to lose. Etsy's a really good starting place for selling things as well. And then also just find some really good sort of online coaches and stuff like that you can follow to get tips from, because there's so many that are on Instagram and TikTok that are sharing free advice. So they're really good places to start, especially ones that are experts with Etsy if you want to sell on there. So yeah, definitely looking for people like that to help get sort of some ideas and suggestions as well is a really good starting point. So yeah, I think just giving it a go, just you've got nothing to lose and you've got to start
Yeah,
somewhere, haven't you? So just having
yeah.
that confidence to do it.
Nice. So what's next for like 2024? How are you looking to end the year? Or have you got any like big plans this year that we can look out for with you?
Yeah. So I really want to get a core following on Instagram of 2,500. So that's a
Amazing.
big
Okay.
goal.
Cool. That's really
But I
good
want
though.
to achieve it. Yeah, and you've got to aim big, right? To
Yeah.
achieve big. So yeah, so that's the aim for this year. To end the year with 2,500 followers. So like-minded people that love the same things as me and what the business stands for. So they're the sort of people that I'm really aiming to find and
Mhm.
connect with. So yeah, so that's kind of the sort of overarching aim. And then just continuing to build Etsy, and have regular stock on there as well. And yeah, just continuing to get to grips with that balance of like working and then also running a business and everything else that comes in between, and just trying to keep that all balanced so I don't sort of get total meltdown and breakdown,
Yeah,
because that would
let's
be
not
good.
do that.
No,
It
don't
is
burn
really
out.
hard to get that balance though. And like some weeks you'll just be crazy, but you just need to make
Yeah,
sure that the next week when it's not so crazy, you take a second and
yeah.
like get some sleep.
Exactly, literally, yeah. It's just taking the up and the down, the rough with the smooth, isn't it? And just sort of like taking each week as it comes. But yeah, I mean, so far it's gone well. So yeah, it's just being disciplined, I suppose. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
definitely.
plan for the year.
It's a great plan, and
Mm.
it's a great ambitious, and it's achievable as well. Like that kind
Yeah,
of like scale is definitely achievable. And you're doing loads on socials, aren't you, to like try and build your
yeah,
content and like with your Etsy. I buy loads of
yeah,
things from Etsy because I'd much rather support a local business that has tried
yeah,
their like tried so hard to get their products out to the like the market. And also most of the
exactly.
time they're really affordable as well. And like you just get
Yeah,
that like extra like thing with the
extra.
products. It's just that extra
Yeah,
like moment where you think, oh, that person's really put thought into that design or
into
that
that.
into that
Yeah,
product, or you like you can feel like that people put love in it, like even just the way they
yeah,
package all the things. So I think you even use
yeah,
that, like you package it in a certain way to like make it like
yeah,
really thoughtful. And I just really like receiving like things like that because you just think, well, someone's
yeah,
really put some like
exactly.
time into that. So it's lovely
Yeah,
to
there's
support people.
so many lovely things on there, and they're perfect gifts for people. So, that's something they've brought into Etsy, actually, like a gifting sort of mode, which I need
Mhm.
to figure out and look into. That's like another day.
That's another
But
thing to do.
yeah, but yeah, they're definitely sort of pushing that angle of, these are things for gifts and things like that. And yeah, it's such a nice way of finding something that's unique that you wouldn't just find, in Tesco's, handmade, and like you say, supporting, small businesses. And like you said, the packaging, like people go to such lengths to make their packages look
They
beautiful,
put
and
little
to
like
receive that as a
handmade
gift.
notes and things in, and I just think that's just so
Yeah,
sweet that someone's like took
it's
the
so
time to write it
nice
out and thank
to
you for
write
their
it.
business. It shows how much it means to them. Like it's lovely.
Yeah, you'd never get that
Yeah.
from Amazon. So,
No, no
why
one's gonna be
why
writing me tags from there, are they?
why? No, exactly. So,
Oh, it's great.
it's just a nice way, isn't it, of supporting other people. And I've always been into that anyway, but even more so now because you understand when you have your own business and it means a lot to you. So
Oh, it just sounds such a good journey. And although you're putting lots of effort in, I think you'll definitely see the rewards from like already what you're doing. So it's great to hear
yeah,
what you're
fingers
going to
crossed.
do. So if we want to find you or find out like what your like your Etsy and things, so I'll put the links into the podcast when we launch it. But if you
Yeah.
do you want to just tell us now like how we find you, where can we find you?
Yeah. Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, which is Moonchild Macrame UK, and then also on TikTok, which I'm giving a go, which is all new to me. So on there it's Moonchild Macrame, and then on Etsy as well. It's Moonchild Macrame UK, but yeah, if you pop the link, it'll be easier than doing a whole hyperlink.
That's
No
fine.
one's
We'll
going to
put them
remember
in.
that.
That's great. Thank you so much for coming on today. It was lovely speaking to you.
So much for having
Thanks,
me. Take
Joy.
care.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.